Alrighty, kids. Hope you're doing well. Hopefully you're getting through this quarantine. And I miss ya. Bummed to hear that we are not returning to school this year. So today for this lesson's purpose, I'm gonna use the Screencast-O-Matic. Okay, so I guess this message was brought to you by the Screencast-O-Matic, a wonderful device for recording and explaining things to kids. And you know it's awesome because they use the suffix omatic, and anytime something says omatic on it, you know it's probably pretty good. So hopefully you guys are doing well. So last week we were talking about Confucius, and on Friday you should have taken that survey, right, where you talk about how Confucian you are. So the first thing I asked you to do was to use um, the survey where you or take this little survey here. It's really simple, okay, and that's not the one I was looking for. Sorry about that. This one over here, okay? And so here we have it. How did you rate on the Confucius test? Okay. And then also I asked the question, do you talk during solitaire? Now I know a lot of you sort of say, Mr. Thomas, of course you trash talk during solitaire because, I've been known to sometimes have a few conversations with myself. I did want to make sure that you understand that I don't know how to play solitaire. So if you think that I trash talk in solitaire, the answer is no, because I don't know how to play solitaire. Okay, so there, ha. All right, so when you took that test, you probably noticed that the A's were total opposite of Confucius, and the C's were pretty similar to Confucius, right? Okay, and you probably figured out that there's kind of a pattern going on, okay? So that uh, that little survey is kind of a lead into what we're doing today, okay? And what you're going to be doing is you're going to be creating a Confucian advice slideshow, okay? So some of the instructions are on here, and then over here, I kind of have the template to use. All right, now slides 1 through, let's see here, 1 through 11 are basically um, are basically are instructional, okay? And then the template you're going to use kind of starts here with, I guess it would be slide 12, okay? All right, so slides 1 through 11, as I said before, are kind of instructional or are instructional. And so what you see here is it says Confucius comes to Crown Point. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to create like a slideshow presentation. It kind of reads like a book almost like a motivational sayings of Confucius book. The idea of these though is that you're taking what Confucius said and you're applying it here to Taft Middle School. Okay, so that's what's on here. So, what do we mean by Confucian values, right? So I took those quotes from Confucius and I broke them down into Confucian values. And so here you have respectful of authority, live in moderation, be humble, all the things that are listed here. And then how you should not behave. So to further explain how you're supposed to be, you could look here where it basically has the total opposite of this, just in case you don't understand what this means, okay? All right, um, so today what I want you guys to do is create um, one title slide doing this and one motivational slide. Okay, now the final requirements, which will be due on Friday, okay, is I want you to complete 8 slides, one title slide, 5 motivational slides, and one slide explaining who Confucius was with a picture, okay? All right, and then 3 celebrity testimonials. Okay, so that's the final product. You need to worry about the title slide today and creating one motivational slide. Okay, all right. So to give you an understanding of what we mean by, so first off, it's going to be kind of like an advice book, right? And so slide 12, I begin here, and it says Confucius says words of wisdom to Taft students. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to find an image, all right, that would go with this. So because it's a title, and of course you don't want it to just be completely bland. So I'm going to go ahead and insert an image. Mine is saved from my computer. You can find this on you can find pictures, for instance, on the school website. All right, so here we have my images, okay? And so I saved these images, and so there's one on Taft, okay, or the one of Taft, okay. So there it is. Of course, I'll have to adjust it, crop it, maybe move it around a little bit. Actually, I probably don't want to crop it, but I do want to move it, right? Okay, so there it is. There's a picture of Taft. I'll probably move up this, and you can adjust it as you see, okay, as you need to, okay. Um, all right, so that's your title slide. All right, should have a picture probably of Taft Middle School, and you could be a little bit creative there. One kid I think had a picture of Robert A. Taft himself. You could also have a picture of Crown Point. That's fine as well. Okay. All right. So what do we mean um, by motivational slides? Teachers are notorious for having motivational picture or posters in the room, right? So like here's one example. I have this one. Okay, respect. Give it to get it. There was at one time when I think I had this on my wall. I don't think I have it in anymore. I'm not honestly sure. And teachers love this because these posters are cheap, and teachers tend to be pretty cheap. Okay, and some of them, myself included, are terrible interior decorators. What do we see? We got a blank space on the wall, and so what do? We spend 50 cents on Amazon and we put up a poster like this, right? Okay. So anyways, there's the poster. Give it to get it. Although I have to admit, this is not following the social distancing requirements. Clearly, this poster was made before all of what's been going on right now. All right. So anyways, that's kind of what you're going to create. 5 of these. Okay. Now, when you do this, so when looking at this, let me give you an example. Okay. If I am uh, let's just say I'm doing, well, if I'm going to make a motivational slide, okay, and I go back to slide 2 where it has the values, okay, so you can choose any of these, and you're going to want to take any of these that are here and put them on top. So let's take respect, okay, all right, so I put respect, okay, on this one. Okay, and so then I came up with a saying, and it says one of the things that drives teachers kind of nuts is when kids play games on their Chromebooks, right? Like if your teacher's explaining what's going on and you're playing a video game, all right, and then what happens right after the teacher finishes? What does the kid do? Asks a question about what they were supposed to be listening to, and it was all because they weren't listening, and they ask, a question, and the teacher gives them a bad look because they already explained that. So here it is. I have, he who plays games on Chromebook will ask a dumb question later. All right, now, so that's my value is up top, the saying is below. Now, of course, I need an image. Okay, so where do I find an image? All right, well, if I look here at my saved images, okay, I don't really have a good respect one. Okay, but but let's go to Google. All right, so a lot of times what kids do is they just Google the value. That's probably not the best thing to do. I have the saying I already made, right? So it says, he who plays games on Chromebook will ask a dumb question later. So why don't I go ahead and try and look up a game? So one very common game kids play, Tetris, right? Kids are always playing Tetris. Okay, so I image Tetris, Google image Tetris. Okay, this is a good screen over here. So I'll save the image, I guess. Okay, and let's see, you can save it either on your desktop or you could save it on your Google Drive. Okay, you guys know that stuff. I don't have to explain that very well or very much to you. You guys all get that. All right, so then I have this. So here it is, and so I insert image. Let's see. Okay, look for my uploaded from computer. I'll go to this one down here. Okay. All right. So there you go. That's one slide. Okay. So all I want you guys to do is finish that. Now, of course, I don't want you to do the exact same one I did. So please don't interpret my instruction as just copy what I just did. Okay. But I want you to create one of these. All right. So anyways, so I think I've made myself pretty clear here what I want you guys to do. Okay. you need to basically look through the requirements here, okay, many of which I've explained, okay. You need to create a title slide, okay. I got two of these open. All right, so you want to, and you can change this, by the way. It doesn't have to necessarily be exactly as what is here. Okay, in fact, I'd like you to change it. And then you'll want an image. Okay, that'll be your title. And then I want you to create one motivational slide. Okay, and as I said before, you're going to want the value up top here. The values come from slide 2. Okay, all right, and then you're going to want the image below. Okay, and then you're going to want a saying. Okay, that reflects this value. Okay, my advice would do the value or do the saying before you look up the image. Okay, because if you think of something that Confucius would say to a Taft kid, sometimes then an image is a lot easier to find. Okay. All right. Then when you're done with that, go ahead and just turn it in. Okay. So you can just turn in what I would do is make a copy and I would delete all of these, right? They'll still be on my Buzz page. Delete 1 through 11. Okay. And then just turn in a 2-slide presentation, the title and this. Okay. Now, eventually, later on Wednesday and on Friday, I want you to create more. So just so you know, this is not the end of the project, but I figure you can go ahead and turn it in the Dropbox, and after you turn it in, you could edit it from that point forward. Okay? All right, so have at it and have a great day.